Live. Hi, my name is Jennifer Waters, and I am one of the acupuncturists and healthcare providers here at CNY Fertility in Syracuse, New York. Woo! It's feeling like spring out here, sort of. We wish it was a little bit warmer. We had some warmth over the weekend, and guess what? Everyone was nicer. It was like a miracle. When it warms up here, everybody gets happy. They start smiling. They actually lighten up a little bit. So we hope that that returns because I do believe lightening up is going to help us all, not to minimize the serious things that are happening in the world. It is a very serious time. um, Today, I want to talk about purification practices and how you could possibly engage in some detox practice. What can you do to detox to help improve your overall egg quality, which, by the way, is also going to help prevent recurring pregnancy loss. So, if you go ahead and Google toxins and for infertility, you're going to be amazed at what comes up. Hundreds, if not thousands, of articles have been studies, actual studies on PubMed.gov have been done on this subject. It's well worth looking into. A lot has been done on cadmium, lead, mercury, the family of heavy metals that people are still affected by, that some people were born with. It could be in your food supply, it could be in the water you're drinking. We don't know. So go ahead and do that, and you're going to be amazed. Also, if you go to my website, jenniferwaters.net, I have a downloadable guide. I created this document for you to download that has some great resources on there. And at one point I did a ton of research and I compiled a list of all the studies. I was really impressed that so many researchers out there care enough about this subject to do clinical trials, to actually take blood samples, to take samples from your endometrial lining and see what's in there for a woman that has had recurring pregnancy loss or unexplained infertility. Let's take a look and see what is part of the terrain there. So I'm a huge fan. I fully believe in terrain theory. What does that mean? It means by improving the health of your overall body through the practices of eliminating that which is no longer serving you is going to improve your overall health, in particular your organ and endocrine function. So what's the first thing you want to remove from your terrain? That would be negativity, negative emotions. This area is minimized, I feel, in healthcare, whether you're doing alternative, real health, modern medical, whatever kind of healthcare you're embracing. How you're feeling and what you're thinking is not usually the place that we begin, right? It's always, let's do blood work, let's see what's going on, what are your levels, what's your AMH, what's your FSH. So I'm fully convinced now, having been in practice for a long time, that your feelings really matter. Okay. And whatever you're feeling is correct. You have to be clear what is the goal. If you're walking around feeling angry all of the time, then you need to get to the root of why and understand what is the opposite of anger for you. So it helps to know the goal. What do you want to feel like? You want to feel content. You want to feel happy. You want to be not triggered so much. However, there's the subconscious mind that's storing all of the things we're not thinking, but we've been programmed by. If you're 0 to 7 years old in your history, you were told repeatedly something that makes you believe the body is not designed to heal itself, that you have to rely on somebody outside of yourself to tell you what's going on with you, and that you have to do whatever the doctor says or the teacher or whoever, then that is a huge disconnect for you that has to be addressed on some level, whether it's emotional freedom technique or hypnosis or whatever. The Fertile Spirit has resources there for you. I think it would be interesting for everyone to examine that, to get into the subconscious mind and see maybe you do have some beliefs that are holding you back that you don't even realize that were in there. And it's now setting up a sort of trauma. I could have started at conception, 0 to 1, as I'm learning, talking to a lot of my friends, a lot of interest in trauma recovery now. Thank gosh, yay, because everybody has some kind of trauma. And the question is, what are you going to do about it? So I've been talking to a lot of my friends are very interested in this subject, and there's a lot of resources. Oh, and my point was the 0 to 1 years old is really important. If you're number 5 in the birth order, and your mother, how could she not be concerned on some level, stressed? I mean, you're taking care of children, other people, working, who knows what the situation was. So that sort of anxious feeling can be stored in your being on a cellular level, and that is affecting your health right now, and you don't even realize it. So, back to the beginning, the first thing we want to detoxify and purify is our subconscious mind, and then the conscious mind, the negativity that we walk around with that we're rarely even aware of. I mean, it took me decades of meditation to realize how negative I was. I didn't even notice it. It becomes a pattern, a habit, and it's a way that we connect with each other. We usually call up our friends, right, and tell them what horrible thing happened. Sometimes we have a good thing, we tell them that too, but it's generally we connect with each other through the bad things that happen, and it's not bad. We need to, vent, unload, but then return to a place of neutral and above. Okay, so what's going on in your mind is affecting your cells, it's affecting how your organs are functioning, it's affecting everything. We often think, oh, we're sitting there being quiet and nobody knows what we're thinking, but that is not true, because what you're thinking is having a big effect. It's affecting what's going on around you. So take a few moments every day, examine what's going on, and do what you can to interrupt that pattern. Get yourself to neutral or above. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing is do an inventory of what you're using in your life, whether it's health and beauty products, trash bags. I have a funny story about trash bags. I finally went to buy some yesterday. It's interesting. Just because you are growing in consciousness doesn't mean that other people are. And it's easy to forget that because you have breakthroughs, you get yourself to a certain place, right? And then you have to remember other people are not there. So this relates to my trash bag story. I went to buy trash bags. Always buy unscented everything. I don't care if it's candles, tissues, toilet paper. The scent, what do you think the scent is? It's poison. It is toxins. These are affecting how your endocrine glands are functioning. Don't use scent, period. People always say, oh, I have a headache, I have this and that. Oh, and it was after I plugged in one of those scented things. Don't do that. Potpourri, all kinds of crazy stuff out there. What smells so bad? You shouldn't smell bad. If you smell bad, you need to sweat more. Detox out. Stop eating the bad food. Try to poop every day. So you're clearing all of this out. We don't need to scent the air. If you use an unscented candle, that naturally takes out scent. So anyways, back to the trash bags. Scent. When did trash bags become scented? This is weird, right? So I couldn't find any. I wanted to buy the little bags for the clinic. There were no unscented trash bags. It's crazy. So of course I still on my shopping list, but really we have power as consumers. Stop buying this stuff. It's poisoning you. It's that simple. Okay. Especially if you're still using tampons, which, I get it. Sometimes you have to, sometimes it's ideally don't, but if you do, get the organic, get the unscented tampons. You do not want that scent going up. It goes into your uterus. It is affecting your uterine lining. It is affecting your ovaries. Okay. So, do an inventory, look at your life, look at all the stuff that you buy, replace it with the better stuff. Okay. And the better stuff doesn't have to be the fancy label. It's twice the price, this and that. It can be baking soda, apple cider vinegar. It can be easier things to clean with. Sometimes we have to use a little bit of bleach. That's the time you do want to wear a mask. You don't want to be breathing that stuff in. Get back to the basics with cleaning stuff. The next step is to, assess your diet as much as you possibly can, especially those of you that are working, doing keto light, keto anything. That meat and fat is building your brain, which is fat, right? It's your endocrine glands are fat, which means toxins are more easily stored in there. So be very careful. The fibrous foods, which I'm sure no one is eating, right? That goes right through you. So if you have to make a choice, always make the organic, the meat, dairy, fat. Okay. And then vegetables and fruits are highly sprayed. So if you are going to eat them, obviously organic, but know that they're passing through more quickly than the meat and fat, which is the building blocks of your glands and brain. So it matters. What's been injected into that. You don't want those extra hormones. You don't want this toxic stuff, this glyphosate and everything that ends up in your body and then starts acting as a rejecting agent. For those of you that have a history of pregnancy loss, I do want you to go to pubmed.gov and put it in there, the search engine, okay, toxins and miscarriage, and you're going to be well educated on what's been going on. So you want to repair your gut. Obviously, you want to be digesting your food well. Then we work on to getting the liver functioning better. I love glutathione. As you know, I love the glutathione patch. It's easy to do. People ask me all the time, what about L.Ac, things like that? Yes, you can do it. You can do all the bitter herbs too. We've got some really good bitter things that help the liver to start functioning better. Then we move on to the kidneys. We want to clean that up. There's lots of things that you can do to help purify, detoxify your kidneys. Then we get into it sort of a deeper detox, what you can do, more sweating, sauna therapy, push these toxins out, get your lymphatics working, get a little trampoline, jump on the trampoline, get everything moving well. You've all seen it. What happens when you're walking along and there's a puddle that's been there for a week? What does that water look like? It's sludge, right? So imagine this in your body. When you're not moving enough, you get the sludge. And so you want to be moving more regularly your lymphatic system to help everything detox and purify. Sweating is a great way to pull out heavy metals. Just make sure you're wiping yourself off as much as you possibly can. There's lots of things that I do in my daily life that are part of the purification practices. I do a lot of breath work personally. I am lucky enough to own a sauna that I bought 20 years ago. It was very affordable. All winter and spring, I try to sit in that. I have another product that I use that's easy to do. These are actually suppositories for detox, pulling out heavy metals and supporting the liver and gallbladder. That's pretty cool. And then I also use some different herbs. I try to use the bitter herbs before eating. They're, like I said, very helpful to astringe your digestive system and support the liver to function better, support the gallbladder to increase high quality bile production so that you're able to break down the food well, and you won't have the toxins being created from not eliminating well and not having enough stomach acid to break everything down. So that's my little lecture today. I don't have any more time. I'm running out. So thank you for your interest in a cleaner lifestyle. I'm going to give you my website. It doesn't have to be painful, folks. It really doesn't. People think of detox as, oh, you have to fast and this and that. You do not have to do that unless you're in an extreme condition. But there's things that you can do every single day to make sure that you are not accumulating toxins that are no longer serving you. All right, there's my website. All right, everybody. Thank you for your interest. Take care. Have a wonderful day. See you next week, I hope.